Hi, everybody. I'm Amy, and today I have a wonderful surprise for you. I have a success story from one of my best friends, Diana. Welcome, Diana.
Hello.
Welcome to my channel. You're like my
I'm
first,
so excited.
yeah, you're like my first guest friend with a success story. So this is super exciting, especially because you manifested a beautiful rainbow.
Yay.
And I want the audience to hear, and I want to hear it again because I love success stories. What happened? So, jump right into it and tell us how you manifested your rainbow.
Well, I got a sneak peek at your manifesting video. And to be honest, I wasn't thinking, oh, I need to see a rainbow simply because I was watching the video. It was just watching the video, seeing the steps, which are so easy. And I thought, yeah, it'd be cool to see a rainbow. I've seen rainbows before. I love rainbows. Yeah, sure, let's see a rainbow. And I didn't really do anything. It's actually almost like the fact that I didn't have to see the rainbow is
Right.
what made it work so well. But the next day, it was all sunny. And I had the thought once during the day, oh, I probably won't see a rainbow today, but that's okay. And then the second day, it was sunny again. And I'm thinking, well, I guess no rainbow today either. But about I guess it was like 7 o'clock at night. We had this one tiny little rainstorm come through, and it lasted like all of maybe 30 minutes, but it was just enough to have sun on one side, rain on the other side, and I thought, I bet there's going to be a rainbow. So I ran to the back door just to see if there was, and sure enough, there was a rainbow, took a picture, sent it right over to you, because I had to tell you that I just saw my rainbow,
Yeah.
and it was gone. Like, only just a little bit. And then
Yeah, you posted it with the hashtag Manifested Rainbow.
I did.
By the way, for everybody who knows, we're recording this video, this success story, before I'm releasing the How to Manifest a Rainbow video. Because I gave her a sneak peek of it, and she knocked it out of the park and manifested a rainbow in 2 days.
Yay!
She calculated it because you texted me right when you watched the video, and then you texted me right when you saw it. It was 50.75 hours, so almost 51 hours. That's kind of amazing.
Oh.
And so because of that, she posted with the hashtag Manifest the Rainbow in advance. Just so you guys know, there's only right now 6 pictures on there because 5 of them are mine from my past rainbows that I manifested, and then hers. So when you go and you're like, oh, look at all these rainbows, and there's 6, we're going to build them. This is our job, to build the rainbow revolution. It's rainbow empire. Okay, so I have a couple questions for you.
Sure.
The first question is, you said you were in the house, right?
Yes.
And you just looked out the door.
Yeah, just out the back door.
So you guys, that's how simple it is. You don't have to be out and about. You don't have to be out in nature, kumbayaing in a field with flowers. You're in your house.
What's funny is the rainbow was, you'll see if you go on to Instagram and click on the hashtag, it's there. You'll see it's just right over the backyard of my house.
Yeah.
I saw the same rainbow from a friend who lives across town, and it's in the distance. There were actually 2 rainbows. It was a double rainbow. It was. And they sent me a picture because they know I like rainbows and said, oh, I saw this rainbow. I'm like, yeah, that was in my backyard.
Yeah, you're like, that was my rainbow, but thanks.
I manifested that. That was mine. Thanks.
A joint rainbow. Joint custody of the rainbow.
Yes.
Yeah, and we'll actually show it. Do you mind if I show your picture right here real quick?
Go ahead.
All right, great. There'll be some sort of way that I show it. I don't know how I do that. Okay, so you were in the house. The other question is, when you had texted me that you saw your rainbow, first of all, when you sent me the message so quickly after you watched the video, I was like, is this a previous rainbow you saw? And you're like, no, I'm looking, I just saw it.
I really saw it. Yeah.
So I was very impressed with the speed. You said that something that clicked with you was not needing to see it, right?
Yeah, and we talked about manifesting rainbows before, and sometimes there was we have to show that we can manifest a rainbow, and those times it usually takes longer for the rainbow to show up.
Right.
But this time, I've already had the moment of manifesting a rainbow with you before, but this one it was yeah, I know I can manifest a rainbow just because I know it's possible. So there wasn't any I have to have my rainbow to prove that this works. It was more oh yeah, that'd be nice to see a rainbow, but I don't need to. And then it was almost like the fact that I didn't need to is what made it
happen so
happen.
quick. Yeah.
Like if I could do that with all of my manifesting, my life would be perfect.
And I want to say, like, you know, Diana and I are good friends, but when we met, she was already into manifesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
didn't
like,
know that that's what I was doing, but yeah.
I gave her the lingo for it. So let's talk about the rainbows that we manifested together. We have one, the most beautiful rainbow I've seen in like a decade. We saw last year, and there's going to be a picture of it I'm going to show. We look super rough in this photo, but there's a reason.
There's a reason for it.
There's a reason. We were just coming off of set, and anyway, don't ask. So we were on set that day, and you tell it better than I do.
Well, it was one of the first days that we like had spent the whole day together. And it was a long day. There were storm clouds that kept rolling in, and you're like, oh no, it's not going to rain. They're just going to keep going. But we might see a rainbow. And you must have said, well, we might see a rainbow. It'd be nice to see a rainbow about 5 or 6 times through the whole day.
Yeah.
And we had just like finished up. We were hurrying to take the makeup off.
Pouring.
It's pouring at this point. And we're we're scrubbing our face. I mean, you'll see, I didn't really get any of that stuff off. But we're running, we grab our stuff. We're like making a dash for the car just as it stops raining.
Yeah.
And
I gotta tell this part.
You go ahead. Yeah.
So we're talking, and we're like talking about like how great manifesting is, and how great, how much fun we're having, and we're in a grateful mood, and we're walking to our cars in the parking lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And which is in a field. We're parking in a field. And we're talking, we have no idea. This most beautiful rainbow is right behind us. We had no idea. We're walking away from it. And then we stop to get into our cars, and we turn around, and we're like, oh my God, rainbow! It's a double rainbow. It's brilliantly bright.
It was so bright. I've never seen one so bright.
Yeah.
And I've seen them in Hawaii. Like,
yeah.
I spent time in Hawaii where it's like the land of rainbows. And I've never seen one that like vibrant.
Yeah.
So
the only place I've ever seen more rainbows is here. Which is funny because I used to go to Hawaii a lot when I was growing up as well. And I've been there a lot as an adult. And, you know, you always see a rainbow in Hawaii. It's where they live. And it's just really conducive to rainbows. And I remember thinking, like, I very, very rarely see one in Virginia. Well, once I started deliberately manifesting them, now I'm like, oh, Virginia's got some game on Hawaii right now. Like, it's coming up in the ranks.
Like, we can do just about every week, every other week. Between the two of us, we got this.
We got this.
Yeah.
So the other rainbow success story we have is really, really cute, too, because we did this one in front of other people.
Mm-hmm.
So we were at this beautiful location one day. And that day, I don't think it looked like it was going to rain as much as the other one.
No, it didn't. It looked like maybe a little cloud here and there, but nothing like the torrential downpour that we had the first time.
Right. So this is after the first one, about like a month later, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So we're with a group of people all day. We're hanging out with them. We're mostly outside. And I start talking about rainbows again. I can't help myself.
They're so much fun, though. They're so much fun.
People want to know what it's like to like hang out with me. Diana, will you tell them?
I mean, we have a great time. It's all just, I mean, what's that song, like Rainbows and Butterflies? That's basically what.
Happy dogs and lollipops.
Yeah, we're the embodiment of that.
Yeah.
Amy is the embodiment of that.
The embodiment of rainbow joy. So we're outside all day, and I start talking about them. And there was someone in our group who didn't understand manifesting or didn't buy into it, but everyone else in the group kind of had some sort of experience with manifesting to some degree. Yeah. So we all kind of rally around this person, right? And we're like, no, we're going to manifest a rainbow today. And she
actually said, I don't believe that.
Right, I don't believe
said those words. And I don't know if I looked at you, Amy, or I looked at her. I'm like, oh, it's going to happen now.
It's going to happen now.
You said it's not.
Yeah, it's going to happen now. So that was really funny because, and there were other people in the group who maybe hadn't manifested a rainbow, but were like, of course a rainbow can happen. Like, it was sort of a group effort. So I kept talking about it, and I was a little nervous because I'm like, this isn't exactly the right conditions for one, but whatever. So we kept talking about it. I did the rainbow dance. I pulled out the big guns, which was just basically me trying to get my energy up for it. And what, it was like maybe an hour later, it was not very long at all.
Not very long.
We
Not
all get in a, yeah, we all get in a van. We're being driven somewhere, like, I don't know, 10 of us?
Yeah, there were 10, it was like a 10-person van, yeah.
We get in the van, we're driving, and we look over, and there's a rainbow.
Just launching out of some field, it's just like, here I am.
I'll post a picture of it. I have a picture of it. It's really, I had to brighten it to be able to see it, but it was really clear for us in real life. So it was really funny because we look over, and I'm like, oh my God!
I think there were like 3 of us who screamed, "It's a rainbow!"
Yeah, and the whole van, like,
The whole van
looks out the window. And we made her a believer that time. We made that girl a believer.
We did, yes.
Yeah. So that was amazing. So definitely you can manifest rainbows whenever you feel like it.
Conditions right or not, it doesn't matter. You don't control the conditions. You just speak the rainbow.
Speak the rainbow, right. So the other question I wanted to ask you is, you just did the 4 steps in the video, right?
Yes.
And you just did it once when you were walking through it.
Yeah, only once. Yeah.
And then the next time it crossed your mind after watching the video was the next day when you're like, it's sunny, probably not going to be today.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And it was just one thought. I wasn't looking for a rainbow. I just thought, oh, it's sunny. It might not be a rainbow today. And then the next day I had again one thought, oh, there won't be a rainbow today, but that's okay. And then I saw the cloud move in, but it didn't look like rain. And then I hear rain, and I look out the front door, and it's sunny. The back door is all dark and stormy, and I'm like, oh, goodness, there's going to be a rainbow. There's going to be a rainbow. So I go running and grab my camera. And I actually sent you that photo before I saved it in my phone.
Oh, wow.
Straight from taking the picture to you. I was like, I'm not missing this. So.
Which is crazy because, you know, I knew she had a sneak peek at it. When she sent the picture, it was like 2 days later. I was seriously impressed. I was like, wow.
Wow.
Now, I know you're a good rainbow manifester.
You know, it's rubbed off of you onto me, so it's good. Yeah. But yeah, I did only go through the steps once, and something that I personally appreciated about this particular video, which you'll all see in a little bit when she releases it, is the steps are very simple and very clear.
Yeah.
So it was funny because actually while I was watching it and thinking about the rainbow, I was thinking, oh, I could do this with something else that I want to manifest. Or I could do this with that thing I want to manifest. And it was like, because the rainbow was so simple, if I could make everything kind of just as simple, then manifesting would happen a lot more fluidly almost.
Yeah. And one of the reason I wanted to ask you about your thoughts after doing the steps, because you had it like twice on 2 different days. I'm probably not going to see a rainbow today. A lot of deliberate manifestors think you can't have those types of thoughts, and that's not true. Because you had them, and the story I had.
And the second day, I actually saw the rainbow.
Yeah, it's like you didn't get hung up on those thoughts though. You're like, whatever. I think that's fine. That's normal. So I have a story where I manifested a rainbow like a couple weeks ago. Now, obviously, I've mastered manifesting rainbows, and I had just forgotten. Because we've all been staying at home, I forgot to imagine one. And it crossed my mind, and I was like, oh, I really want to see a rainbow. It's been a minute. So I closed my eyes, and I imagined it, and I did the smiling. It was right before I made the rainbow video, but I was already planning it. So I did my 4 steps for it. And then I came out of it, and the first thing that crossed my mind was, oh, I'm probably not going to see a rainbow while I'm in the house all the time. They're outside and I'm inside. That crossed my mind, and I accepted that I thought that, because I'm like, no, I go get mail. I take a walk every now and then. There's a window. I could look out the window. Mm-hmm. So it just seemed more unlikely, but I didn't change that thought. I was like, I can still see a rainbow. And then I think it was 2 or 3 days. I think it was 3 days later. Same thing. It was a different day than yours, so it was before yours. It was like normal and sunny, and all of a sudden this like crazy wind picked up, and this like torrential downpour. At 20 minutes tops, maybe 10, stopped, and the same exact thing. I saw that it was really sunny, but I could still hear the pitter patter of rain like in the back.
Uh-huh.
And out the front of my house, it was really sunny. So I whip open my door and I have a glass storm door, and there right in front of my house is this giant rainbow.
Right there.
I didn't have to leave the house.
You barely would have to take 10 steps.
No,
like,
I had to open
like
the
right there.
It's right there. And the other thing for me is I've never seen one from my front door before. Never. And I was like, okay, this is definitely my sign to make the rainbow video now. But I had the same types of thoughts you did.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's probably not going to happen right now.
Yeah, it's sunny. It's not going to happen today, but.
Yeah, and the key is you just let yourself have those thoughts. Those thoughts don't stop your rainbow.
Clearly didn't stop my rainbow because I had it twice. So, yeah. In fact, I had a double rainbow. I only asked for one rainbow and I got two rainbows. So maybe it was because I let both those thoughts go that I got the double rainbow.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the other thing too is you, if you're really good at manifesting rainbows, like you and I are, but if you're out there and you're really good at it, challenge yourself to manifest a triple rainbow. Because I've heard that they're out there. It's really a quad rainbow, but it's hard to see the fourth band. I've never seen a quad rainbow. I'm not sure I've seen a triple rainbow, but challenge accepted by myself. I challenged myself.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I'll see the quadruple. I'll see the quadruple rainbow. Why not?
Why not? Especially if you and I are together. We're like rainbow magic together.
Yep. You know, it's interesting. I've seen a rainbow in that exact same spot, and the only other time that happened, it was a day that I guess I was going through something, life threw things at me, and I was having just a challenging day. And it was one of those things that I just wanted some kind of reassurance that things were okay. And I didn't have those 4 really clear steps. I had the manifesting steps that you and I have discussed, but not as clear cut as this video makes them sound, because the video is great. I'm so excited for this video. I can't wait for you all to see it, and I'm not even the one making it. So, but I remember that I was like, I'd really like to see a rainbow. Like, I'd really like to see one. And I had those conditions of it sunny in the front and then rainy in the back. And it had actually rained for like maybe 3 hours at that point, and I still hadn't seen the rainbow. And I went and stood at the door, and I'm like, I just really want to see a rainbow right now. So I kept checking. I was like, the conditions are kind of right for it to be a rainbow, And I kept looking, and it was the moment that I walked away, and I'm like, that's okay, and my mind went somewhere else, that I was passing by, because our pantry is right by the back door. I was passing by, and boom, there was the rainbow. So it was still a day that I felt like I needed to see a rainbow, but there was that moment that I kind of just let go, and ta-da, there was my rainbow.
Right. So you can need it or feel like a pull to it, and then you shifted it to not needing it. That's why you were able to walk away. Yep. You could want something. You could love to have something.
Really bad. But if you can let it go, that's kind of the release.
It happens a lot with phone calls and text messages. And you ever noticed that where you're like waiting for someone to get back to you? Like maybe you're like actively messaging them and they stop. And you're like, where did they go? And you're like staring at your phone. And it's the moment that you're like, oh, whatever, they'll get back to me later. And you put your phone down, and it's like, ding. And you're like,
oh, there they are.
You like side eye it, like really, like.
Because really, how many times have we side eyed our phone?
Yeah, side eye your phone. So yeah, and rainbows are great. I had a rainbow like that. I think I have a picture of it. Last year, it was after I'd seen a couple rainbows in my neighborhood, pretty much back to back, like 1 week after the other. And I was out, same thing. The conditions were right. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna see a rainbow. And I walked around my neighborhood. And I was like looking and looking and looking, and no rainbow. And I remember thinking, no, the conditions are right. Like,
I'm supposed to see my rainbow right now.
Yeah. And I didn't necessarily get over it, but I got distracted. I started thinking about something else. And then I glanced over, and then there was, I saw like a rainbow coming down into the ground. I do think I have a picture of it, because I made a funny little Thor graphic with it last year.
I remember that one.
Yeah, that's everyone. Yeah, Thor has arrived. Yeah, so that one was interesting too. So you don't have to be perfect in manifesting. It's about asking for it, which is, you can call it an intention, wanting it, saying it, visualizing it. It's basically saying, I want this to happen. I want to experience this. And then going about your business and not micromanaging yourself. Right.
You know, one other thing that stood out to me was the smile. If you
Yeah.
can visualize it and then smile, I hadn't put the smile with the visualizing, and I don't know what happens, but when you smile while you're visualizing, it's like, oh yeah, of course, it's gonna be okay. And it was easier to let go of afterwards. So
Yeah.
smile for me, I need to definitely incorporate smiling in more of my manifesting.
Yeah, smiling is fantastic because smiling automatically like boosts your mood. And if you do it while you're visualizing and you actually smile with your real lips, because you don't have to go deep into visualizing. You don't need to be in some like deep meditative state. You just have to see what it is you want in your mind. Or if you're not visual, somehow connect to what it is you want in your mind. Sometimes they hear it. Sometimes people will sense it or feel it, but most people are visual. A good chunk of people are visual. And when you smile, you connect, first of all, a physical manifestation that you have control over right now. And most people smile when they see a rainbow. I've never seen someone see a rainbow and not smile.
Oh, I didn't want to see a rainbow. Like,
Ooh, that rainbow. Even that girl was like, what?
she was, and she straight up doubted us. She told us it wasn't going to happen because she didn't believe it.
And it wasn't the right conditions.
Yep. And she was smiling. She was smiling big. And then she kept talking about, I can't believe we saw a rainbow.
Yeah, she was on the manifesting train after that. She's like,
She
what else
was.
can we manifest?
Yeah.
We're like, oh, girl, you just wait.
Just wait.
Stick around.
Yep.
Well, Diana, thank you so much for being here. I'm sure my audience will just get a big kick out of your success story.
Yeah.
And yeah, you guys go out there, manifest your rainbows. Do you have any words of advice?
It's okay. It's okay if it doesn't happen. It will happen. And you don't have to plan the conditions. All you have to do is just picture the rainbow. That's it.
That's it.
Let the
Yeah, and
conditions
everything
take
else
care
is sort
of
of like side noise
Yeah.
but yeah, you just, if it doesn't happen after a couple of weeks, maybe do it again. But
Smile.
go through the whole 4 steps again. Yeah, but make sure you smile because that really made a difference for me too. And every time we manifested the rainbow when we were together, I was very smiley that day.
Yes.
Because it's sort of a buoyant energy.
It is. And it actually takes less muscles to smile than to frown. So.
I don't even know how to frown.
I know, right?
Pout. Mine's more like a pout.
Face.
Sure. Well, thank you, Diana. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Happy manifesting. Happy rainbow hunting.
Yay.
Go out there and get your rainbow, y'all. Manifested rainbow. Hashtag it on Instagram.